Guys, I don't know, have you ever felt that your life is somewhat being controlled by others? You know, all other people in your life but you. Like you have lost your power and you don't even realize it. Well, I have been in that situation, but thankfully, I am no longer under people's opinion. So, if you can relate to my questions or you're interested to hear my story on how I regained my power to finally achieve my dream to study abroad, come have a little chat with me, will you? I have been meaning to do this, to contemplate what I have achieved, what I've been through all these past years, but I wanted to be in the most honest, truest form of conversation, so here we are. Oh, and just a little spoiler, I probably will talk too much. Hope you don't mind. Anyway, I am Ava and I have spent the last 20 years of my life moving around one place to another, putting in a great deal of effort to get the best quality of education, despite where I was born and raised. From a small village girl huddled in the crowded school building in the south of Banten, to spending 7 years in pesantren or Islamic boarding school, took a bachelor's degree in education, and finally become an international student, did my master in this amazing, respectable university in the UK. Oh, by the way, it's a full scholarship postgraduate study covering all tuition fees and living cost. Honestly, it's been one hell of a journey. Well, not entirely. I mean, yes, of course, I had that sleepless nights, those months full of stress and anxiety, that day when I was finally seeing the light, but then pulled right back into the fear of unknown. But life happens, right? And we all know that nothing great comes out of comfort zone. So I endured, and now I have graduated and thought maybe I can document my life and share what I know, what I've been through to get to where I am today. So the next time a small village girl like me has the ambition to study abroad, to see the world beyond the life she knows, she won't be discouraged. Because that's what I have experienced. To be told that I'm just a woman from a place where most people don't know it exists, with no talents, resources, or connection whatsoever, and that I would never make it. I remember how those words had made me feel. I crumbled, held my anger, cried the whole night, and woke up feeling resigned. I don't know. Back then, I was just so consumed by what people thought of me. Like, somehow internalize those perceptions that you have about me, and no kidding you guys, it was super exhausting. As a movie freak, I realized that following your dream is not always as easy as you've seen in a movie. You have a dream, you make all the actionable steps to achieve it, and after 1 or 2 hiccups, you get what you've always dreamt of. But unfortunately, the reality operates somewhat quite differently. The real world is much more complex than that, and we know that for sure, right? For some people, the path may have provided to them, ready to be explored. But for most of us, including me, the road to realizing dreams is long, unexpected, and challenging. I remember during my time in pesantren, I think it was probably around 14, 15, if I'm not mistaken, I was so desperate. Okay, I'm just gonna give you a little background so you can have like a full understanding of my story. So back then, when I was in pesantren, it was a must for us to speak in both English and Arabic. So imagine, I have neither learned a proper English in my early education nor participated in an intensive English class like my fellow students. So suddenly I have to speak English like every day. You have seen how my primary school, right? Just another decrepit school building, and it was super concerning. Just to survive another year. We barely make it. So now what? Learning English? Oh my god. It was way out of our league. Yet the fact that I might left behind, that I might not have proper conversations with my friends and teachers because I couldn't speak the language, scared the hell out of me. So to be able to at least introduce myself and mingle with everyone, I would wake up in the middle of the night to memorize one English word as simple as tea, so that by the end of the week I would have had 7 words and 28 words for a month. I did this for 3 consecutive years along with practicing speaking English daily. Apparently, you can't really move mountains when you have the right motivation and believe in yourself. Guys, of course, none of these struggling scenarios I have mentioned earlier I have encountered throughout my journey means that the pursuit of dream is not worthwhile, because to be completely honest with you guys, it did super rewarding. I guess it's true. Some things in life are just meant to be endured, and that's what makes the fruit so sweet. People often ask me, what is it, Father, made you so stubbornly willing to put your best effort to be able to study abroad? And I always passionately said, I guess beside the academic needs, I also got to experience a freedom and excitement of being on my own. In a foreign environment, a culture I'm not familiar with, a language I am still learning to master every day, an accent I have never heard, with people from all kinds of backgrounds, various foods I never tasted, all the magnificent landscapes I never knew existed, stories from all over the world I am sold to explore. I mean, I know this might seem weird to some people, but for me, those kind of things make me feel alive, and I cherish that. Guys, Wait, okay, I think this is too close. Wait. Okay, I think it's better. Anyway, while we're at it, I think I would like to also address something that has caught my attention lately, which is the notion and the incredible amount of social media posts that are romanticizing studying abroad. Now, that is quite fair in a way that it had really changed so many people for the better, including me. But the thing is, taking a master's degree abroad is not for everyone. Getting a scholarship to study in a foreign country is not for everyone. We often fooled by the glamorous life of others on social media. I sometimes did get fooled, but please know that just because people around you seem happy, content, and fulfilling through 1 year living and studying abroad, in whichever country it might be, it's not necessarily mean the same for you. See, if you think that studying abroad will help you get the career or the kind of life you want to live, then go ahead. I am all rooting for you. I just don't want you to think small or insignificant of yourself just because you're not studying abroad. Because, honey, what works for me might not work for you, or vice versa, and that is the fact. So I think rather than wasting all your time doubting yourself, comparing yourself to others, being controlled by what people said and society dictated, have you tried taking yourself on a solo date? Because it worked like magic to me. You should try. Spend some quiet time with yourself, revisit your life, and take control. Be the main character of your own life. I know it's easier said than done, but at least try, okay? Just try a little harder. Some followers on my Instagram have DM'd me and said something like, "Oh my god, I'm so proud of you, Eva. You're so amazing. How come you got to study in the UK with the kind of background you have? Do you ever get tired? You must be very smart and talented and never get exhausted." Oh boy. I am also just like you guys. I'm just human. I'm just an ordinary person like you. I read this in a book called Greed by my favorite and the incredible psychologist Angela Duckworth, which say that our potential is one thing and what we do with it is quite another. We often we often preoccupied by talent being the most factor influencing someone's success, when in reality, based on science, interviews with high achievers from all kinds of fields done in the book, it resulted that consistency of effort over the long run is everything. To learn to keep going even when things are difficult, even when we have doubts, it's called grit, endurance. And that's what separates us from the rest. To have not only passion and enthusiasm, but also the perseverance to get to the finish line. So, to answer that questions on my DM, yes, of course, absolutely, I get tired and resign too many times throughout my journey. Okay, I have never shared this before to anyone, but I hope this will help others to understand. I think it was probably around 8 in the morning. I felt so frustrated, exhausted, and full of doubts preparing for my scholarship and postgraduate study. I was in my room alone holding IELTS book. I couldn't recall what happened, but the next thing I knew, I was screaming at the top of my lung, and my father hugged me so tight, and I cried till my eyes burned. I didn't quite remember the whole story, but my father said I seem lost and unstable. I remember during those times, I was doubting myself too much. I have finished my undergrad study and I was struggling to manage my time between work and pursuing my dream to study abroad. My closest friends and family, they knew that I have always wanted to continue my study in the UK, and they kept asking me when will I finally go. And it just terrified me, really. I have put maximum effort to learn IELTS, applied to many scholarships, yet it just seemed that the sign has never come to me. It has always been rained and storms and nothing. I remember my first IELTS test. Okay, it was not a disaster, but still not enough score for a postgraduate study in the UK, which meant that I need to change my strategies and learn all over again from the beginning. I was so terrified because I've only got time to prepare it all after work, which was in the night, which also meant that I got no rest. I was so caught up in this bubble of, I don't know, getting my life together, you know? Then one night I was thinking like, wait, do I feel terrified of me not being able to achieve my dream to study abroad, or of what people thought of me if I failed? Then I spent some time alone and I realized that I was not afraid at all of me experiencing failure. It was people's opinions that holding me back, that kept me from enjoying the process and only focusing my mind on the result. Then back to that moment of me screaming at the top of my lung, crying my heart out, I realized I was not tired of me working hard toward my dream. I was tired of thinking and caring more about what people said about me. Like, really, Eva? Ugh, what a waste. Do you want to know what my father said after that tragedy of me being out of my mind? Okay, so basically, okay, this is actually very beautiful. So he said, we often get so attached to the label society put on us. We often forget that we are so much more than just a school we go to, a company we work for, or a job we do. We are so much more than that. So take control, Eva. Do not let people set the standards for you. That's what he said to me. And honestly, guys, those words hit me so hard. I mean, it's so true, right? The very reason I got so frustrated is because I get attached too much to people's perception of me, as if they knew everything about me, as if they were the ones helping, supporting, and cheering me up in the process of realizing dream, when in fact they weren't. So you know what? I did myself a favor. I threw away all the things that holding me back, people's opinion, that feeling of doubt of my own capacity, fear of judgment, all those kind of things that keep us from using all our potential. And sometime after that moment, I regained my power and confidence and started all fresh. Like my mind, my body, my mental were all in harmony and committed to enjoy this process of making my dream come true. I applied to more scholarships and sent my master applications to 5 universities in the UK. And Alhamdulillah, Allah let me got accepted at 4 out of 5 campuses. And for the scholarship, I have got 2 programs in my hand back then. I explained all these details because I want you to understand that I didn't do well because I was lucky or smart or talented or anything. I did well because I got up every time I fell. I took control of my life, and I'm really grateful that I failed, that I once somewhat being dominated by what people thought of me, because during those times, I learned so much. I learned how to get up and run again. So guys, I know this journey of getting our life together is of course difficult and exhausted. Even when I'm recording this video, I am not so sure whether this is the right thing to do. I'm still afraid that people might not like it, I still have my doubts in everything I do on a daily basis, I would say. But let's just hope that someone somewhere on the internet has to hear what I have to say. I heard this somewhere on YouTube, which I fully agreed that this feeling of lost, this tendency that we have to always somewhat doubt ourselves, listen more to people's opinion, are not something we can get over. It's just something we get better at dealing with. I think that's absolutely true. I mean, the thing about life is that no matter how many struggles you have overcome in the past to be able to live the life you're currently living, your life does not end there. Another problem will always come your way, and that's okay, because we will get better at dealing with those problems as we get more experience. So if you're currently feeling down, not sure what you're gonna do with your life, just try, okay? Keep trying. Give yourself permission to try. It sounded easy, but actually, not many people let themselves to try, to experience failure. That's what I did. I have given myself permission to try. When I first said to myself back when I was 16 that someday I want to study abroad, I had little knowledge of English. I had very limited sources, but despite the struggles I went through, I kept trying, and here I am today. Remember, consistency of effort over the long run, not talent. Well, of course, it's also one of the factors influencing someone's success, but again, it's not everything. If you're willing to work hard, to be consistent, putting in a great deal of effort over the long run, it will still take you to your dream, to the kind of life you hope for. So go get it. Yeah, I think that is all for today. If you're interested to know more about studying abroad, how to get a scholarship, how to apply for a master's degree in the UK, or just life in general, really, I don't know. I haven't actually decided on what topics I'm going to be sharing with you guys on this channel. Maybe some travel videos, daily vlogs, learning tips. Anyway, what I want to say is that please do subscribe to my channel. I hope that I will also be consistent on sharing with you guys on this channel and have a little fun along the way. So, thank you so much for watching and see you on my next video. Bye.